I'm out in part of my shop today and I'm going to try something new here. A good friend of mine, she and her husband have a little shop and they've been doing live sales through an app called Whatnot. But the way that works is very different for me to do. It's more auction style, and you really need two people. And for what I sell, I'm not sure that that would be the best venue, but I'm all about ideas. And having a video to try to promote sales of certain kinds of items is maybe a good thing. So I'm trying something new here. So today I'm going to focus on vintage art items that I've created from vintage art, basically. They involve little golden books. And first of all, I want to tell the story of why I even did this, because sometimes I think people might look at my art and say, why did you even think to do that, Eileen? Okay, so several years ago, my son bought uh, an 1800s Pennsylvania farmhouse. And the sale included the contents of the house. And in the attic, there were a lot of vintage items. And I was trying to help him sell some of them at that point on eBay or different things. And there were a lot of little golden books. But um, some of them were damaged, like with water or just torn, but it kind of put me in a nostalgic frame of mind at some point, and I thought maybe the most money that could be generated from these little golden books was to take some of the images and repurpose them. I love to repurpose things. I hate to see anything discarded into the trash that holds some kind of potential or some kind of memory, especially. At some point, there won't be any more little golden books left. So eventually, I did these up on little tiles. So I collect anytime I see like someone easily giving away free materials, especially tiles, I'll just accumulate them and do something with them. So there's a technique I have where you mix like half glue and half water, and you just can, I guess the term is decoupage. Take paper and just saturate it and adhere it to other surfaces. And it does work on tiles. I mean, these tiles they're not meant to go through a dishwasher or anything like that or be like a coaster. They are wall hangings, or you could just prop them on a mantle or something like that. So the first thing is, why would someone want to buy a little tile art and give it to someone or keep it with an image from a little golden book? Okay, so I grew up in the 60s and I remember little golden books. Now, some of the images I'm going to show, I don't remember all these stories. There's like, I do have a piece of art made from the We Go to Kindergarten book. I had that book when I was a child. I'm going to show some other art images at the end of this after. Sorry, my hair is so staticky. It bothers me. But anyway, so at the end, there's some other items that I will show that are also from the vintage things that were in the boxes of stuff that was at my son's farmhouse. But initially, I'm thinking this. Many parents are aging. I'm 62, and my parents were quite a lot older. My mother died in 2001. She was 78. So she was born in 1923. But many of my friends, they're going through it now with aging parents. nursing homes, people moving in with their grown children, and or a variety of situations. Surely people out there my age, maybe even younger or older, have people in their lives that they might bless by picking out a little scene on a tile and taking it to someone who's meaningful in their lives in assisted living and saying, hey, I thought you'd really like this. I don't want to get emotional, but I remember you reading these stories to me. So yeah, I'm a real sentimental kind of person too. And there's a lot to observe these days about aging and many things. So, and reading is a lost art in a sense. I hate to say it, some of the garbage that passes as um, reading material for children, and in terms of many, many things, it's just a whole different world. So I'm asking you today to think about this, to go through this video with me if you're interested in seeing the selection, and think about even your own memories. If you're in my age, maybe something will, I don't know why I'm so emotional here, but something will strike you as, man, I remember when my mom read that to me, or my dad, Matilda the Mouse or something. So I didn't mean to get all emotional. I have that weakness. When I used to read to my children the Little House on the Prairie books and other ones like I'll Love You Forever, there's something about reading something emotional when you're talking that I don't do well with. So anyway, this is kind of very impromptu here. So I'm going to go through the different tile images. And these tiles are $20 a piece, including shipping. Now, if you want several, just let me know, and the shipping would be less. I'm wanting $10 per tile, but they're a little heavy in packing them, so they won't break. To ship one, I'm going to charge $20, including shipping. Now, if you want a tile, if something strikes you, you can message me. I'm going to post this on Facebook, so you can comment in the comments. You can leave a comment on the YouTube. You can send me an email, whatever way you have to reach me. So here we go. So I have had them in this area of the shop, and they have, to protect them, they have cardboard in between, and I've glued little hangers on them. So I'm just going to go through each image. I'm trying to think how I can do this with a methodic way here. Maybe if I just move them over. So I believe this is from The Ugly Duckling. I don't see the problem with this. It's very labor intensive to sell these. You're just going to have to comment and describe the piece that you want. So this is, I believe this is a story about a runaway train or something. It's just a little image. So what I did was take crimping scissors and cut around, and then decoupage. This is from Heidi. This is from, I think it's from Bambi. Matilda the Mouse. This is from A Birthday Story. I realize that some of these images are more appealing than others. This is from that little story about a boat, or I'm not sure, a tugboat maybe. Some of you may remember this more than me. So this looks like it's from the little story about a birthday party. I mean, maybe there's just a sweet memory that someone might have with a certain image. That's the story about the runaway train, or I could be really botching this. I'm not even going to attempt to remember what some of these are from. I believe this is from Bambi. It's just a sweet little nostalgic nature image. I believe this is from, I'm not sure, probably that story about the engine. Matilda the Mouse. This is from Heidi. I wish I could remember the name of that story. Comment in the comments if you know. This is a story, a golden book about, I believe, a little Indian boy. Another engine. I wasn't quite sure as I did this which images were most important. I don't know. That might be from Heidi. I believe this is from The Ugly Duckling, or like a story about a little swan. You know, I can't remember exactly what golden books I had. I will talk about this later. So that's Heidi, I believe. Ugly Duckling. I probably had that story. This is the one about the little Indian. Might have been more of a little boy's story. Same with this like train and tugboat story. Again, if you see something, maybe at the very end, I'll go back through them quickly and say like a number on them. That might help identify. Ugly Duckling. That's just a sweet little vintage image. This is a story about, I forget what it was. The woman has a broken leg. Matilda the Mouse. Heidi. I think the Matilda the Mouse ones are very sweet. I get these ideas and I think, wow, this would be so sweet, and maybe I'll sell some of these. And then, you know, it can turn out to be very labor intensive. I would just love to clear these out somehow, especially if you're local and you don't need shipping and want to stop by, and you know, we could talk about some kind of deal. You know, this might even be nice to give a grandchild and to tell them about your own childhood back in the 60s or 70s. So next, let me connect with y'all again for a minute here. I'm going to switch to some other items. The We Like Kindergarten book. I had the cover of that. I put it in this frame and I cropped out a bunch of images from We Go to Kindergarten. I remember this book. And I tried to do this collage in this, I get old frames and I like to do crackle finish and repurpose. And I even used metallic gold paint on this. And I was thinking it would just be a sweet set of something, I don't know, for a child's nursery, for a daycare, for a church hallway. I don't know. I actually had this priced much higher because this actually did take a lot of work. But at this point, I have clearanced it down to both of them for $100. Shipping, on those two pieces is likely to cost me probably $40 or $50. So that's, I'm open to negotiations or local pickups. I just want to move things out of here. Now, there's another piece. There were some like stickers among the stuff in that attic. And these are just kind of sweet little images from, I'm not sure what they're from. They were just stickers and they're very vintage looking. I just put them into a frame. I had some kind of artwork with, it was from a little illustration I did, music notes with hearts. It's just a sweet little piece. I've got this marked down, $50. Shipping on that is going to be maybe $20. But, to clear it, I would just $50, including shipping. Now, over here, I had some stuff I never finished up. These things are in progress. So I started to take scraps of mat board and just mount some of these pieces. They could be matted, go in a frame. I'm not sure. They're a little bit, I'm not sure why I had this odd size. I think it would go into an 11 by 14 mat. This is sweet for maybe a little boy. And if you see something that triggers like something that appeals to you, let me know and we can talk about what I might do with it. There was a Raggedy Ann book with, images. So this is kind of all whatever. I just never finished this up. But if there's anything you see, I'm just going to flip through these real quickly. This is just a little sweet vintage of nature, birds. I guess I had run out of tiles. Anyway, there's little items. A little girl with a kitten. These are 5 by 7, so they would go right into a little frame. Bambi, little ducks, ducklings, runaway train or whatever that is. Bambi. That's a sweet, sweet little image that might find a little forever home somewhere. I get frustrated because this stuff does me no good to sit around. That's sweet. Just a little image of a child with a mother. That's sweet. This is sweet. We've really lost the value of sweetness in our world. Our children and grandchildren, they I just don't understand the sweetness and simplicity of childhood. Okay, so here we go. A lot of Raggedy Ann images. I had the Raggedy Ann book. I do remember these kind of images. I must have had more. I remember bigger storybooks like this rather than a whole lot of little golden books. I may have had more like the fairy tales of golden books. It's really hard for me to remember. But there's a number of Raggedy Ann, images. Just something like that mounted and framed or in a mat that you can pop in a frame might just find a very special place in your home or a grandchild or even an elderly parent, for just a little gift. Maybe for your elderly neighbor, just brighten their day in some way. These little pieces that are matted, I don't know, like $5 a piece in shipping. Now, this is from the story, I guess, We Go to the Beach, maybe something like that. That's very sweet. That would be a lovely piece in someone's beach house. Nature, butterflies, these are really pretty. I think this size is to go with an 11 by 14 custom mat with a custom opening like I do on the wedding gifts and whatnot. So more beach theme, nature. So the bigger ones, $10 a piece if like this, and if I throw a mat on it, maybe $20 plus shipping. Just let me know. This is a lot of unfinished things. Nature. Okay, and then I saved some of the covers. If there's any chance that someone would want a cover, framed. So I guess The Ugly Duckling was not a golden book. Raggedy Ann. This could be framed. It's the cover. There we go. Matilda the Mouse. So maybe they're not all golden books. This is a different kind of book. So I may have messed up on some of my understandings. There's the cover from Heidi. Oh, Beth. Okay. Rand McNally, an elf book. This was the birthday story with a little girl named Beth. The Shy Little Kitten. Little golden book. The New Baby. And here's one I did matted. I believe that's from The New Baby. The dad's bringing a crib up. It's a beautiful day here. I'm about to go on to whatever I'm going to do next here. But thanks for watching. Please let me know if you want to buy something, and let's do this. Let's spread a little nostalgia around. Thank you. Have a great day. Oh yes, I was going to number these items in case that threw them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, and all these have the little hangers. 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41. That would be a sweet birthday gift. Number 41, for a child or for an aging person. 42, 43, 44, 45, 46. I'm not gonna number these. If you're interested in something, message me. We can discuss. Thanks again.